Yo, what is up guys, it's FullySpaced here and welcome back to the channel. I just want to say a quick thank you guys for 8,000 subscribers. It's been absolutely mental and I can't thank you guys enough. The support has been absolutely incredible. We are kind of slowing down on the little support train. I am going to take full responsibility of that as I haven't been uploading as much as I would like to be. Unfortunately, real world things of work and other stuff like that kind of get in the way, and it makes it quite hard to get YouTube videos done, but quite a few of you wanted to see a terraforming video, so I'm going to kind of show you a rough basic way of terraforming and just kind of creating a nice little kind of natural hill, or just kind of naturally generating some terrain. We will do it the survival way. If you ever want a tutorial of world edit, I do use world edit quite a lot when it comes to creative building. However, I'm going to do it strictly for like some sort of survival. So if we was playing in survival, obviously we would be building by placing blocks down by hand. So I'm going to just do it based off of that, and I'm just going to get like 2 temporary blocks here. So we're going to use different blocks. Obviously, depending on where you're building, different biomes will just basically be a different way of using blocks. If you're building in a cave, you'll have to center out a cave, and then you texture it up and make it look more natural. Thankfully, we've got a new cave update on the way, 1.17. It looks incredible. Cannot wait for that, and I will be doing some more videos on that. But for now, we're just going to do a bit of terraforming. I'll show you what. So a lot of you suggested it, and basically I'm going to show you a few ways to kind of terraform. So you can terraform hills and things like this. This will take a prolonged amount of time. So if you want it kind of natural, or you want it to extend down so you can kind of walk up it instead of climbing up it, you can obviously see there's kind of outlines here. Now what you can do with these is kind of just go down like so, and as you get down here you get something like this, and then you kind of just bring it down again, and you will end up seeing here as it's already taking shape. You can already see that it's slowly coming down a bit, and you'll get this kind of little naturally formed cliff area here. And if we keep bringing it down, eventually we'll get flat. So if I quickly just show that, I might actually have to turn the volume on this down because it's so loud. We're going to about 30. But yeah, if we do something like this, I'm just going to give you a little temporary kind of idea on how to do it. So just something like this that kind of lowers itself every so often. It's a bit more easier to walk up. Probably isn't going to be as natural as you'd like it, so you will have to kind of throw in a few different height kind of blocks here and there. So you'll get some different ways of climbing up. It won't be a perfect straight way climb. It will have a different few kind of gaps and pieces in it. So it's really up to you how you do that. So you can have something like this. Obviously, filling it in hollow will just increase the mob spawning rate, and just maybe will kind of be quite annoying in the long run. So something like that, as already you can see, it's already terraformed a bit out of the hill, and we just got this giant pond to fill that in. Obviously, nothing too hard to do there. You're just filling in a pond with this, like so. So yeah, so you just have something like that, and as you see, you create this little natural kind of hill that's come out, just adding various different heights. Obviously we'll give a nice little route up there as well. So as you can see, if you bring it down, so like I was talking as, if you bring it down by 1 and you do it the same here, eventually you'll just be able to walk up it by jumping like this. And obviously it's going to look a bit odd because it doesn't look as natural because it just comes down. So you will need to kind of go around and curve the whole thing. It's quite simple if you want to do that. Obviously you can go 1 block below and then still curve it at the angle like that, and then just keep coming down, and you'll get lower and lower, and then you'll end up with something looking like this. That is kind of a way to simply terraform these larger kind of little hills here, just giving you a nice little way up them without kind of destroying a path that just looks completely ugly. Next up, I'll show you a little quick way of how to make your own custom mountains. Now these things take absolutely forever. If you ever seen Fwip, he builds absolutely monstrous things that are just obscene. I would never consider even building them, especially in survival. So he would usually start by building a kind of frame. So what he does is gets a frame, or what I can only assume he does is gets a frame, or this is what I would do anyway, and then you kind of create a little path. You do want it in 1 line just for the kind of purpose of being a little frame structure, and you kind of just want to mess up the heights here and there, so you can have different heights and things. And eventually you'll come up to as high as you want it, and obviously once you get towards the top you'll start using grass, because grass will be on top of it. Now once you've done that, you can then come along and just kind of go wherever you want with this. So you can have it kind of forming any shapes you want. You can just have it going anywhere. And I'm going to tell you now, this will take you a prolonged amount of time. Purely for the filling in aspect of this, you're going to need a lot of materials. But as you can see here, you've already started to create a kind of cliff. So this will be like your edge of the cliff. So you would look down, and you can either do two things. You can fill from this way over to where you're going to have it, so probably over here. It doesn't really matter what heights you make these, they can be completely different as well. So you can have something like this, and then we'll head over like here, go down again, and here, like so, and like so. So we can just keep going down. I'm going to kind of show you in a second what I mean by this whole thing. You just want it coming down at different angles. Oh, let's not mess up that too much. Like so. As you see, they come down at different angles, and then from here you could obviously fill along in different kind of ways, and eventually you will sort of get over here, but you will need to lower it obviously on the hills. Something like this. Give it a bit of a curvature to it as well. There we are. So that's connected up. Now from here, you would only kind of need to fill in this like area. So you would just kind of go up, and you would kind of begin creating a nice little random generated heights, and you basically start to fill this in, and eventually you'll reach up to this top part. I'll only do this small section because, like I said, this takes a prolonged amount of time, especially if you're doing it to a scale that someone like Flip has done it. They take absolutely insane amounts of time, and you will just need to place random blocks and things in here, and they will give you different heights and things. You can add different textures. Texturing is absolutely key when you want to make some custom terrain as well. So as you can see, we're already taking place and creating a mountain. And you can use different kind of blocks here, here on and throughout. So it's just, you know, getting a nice little foundation really of how you want it to be built. But as you can see here, we're almost there to the top. Obviously, it's going to be a lot harder to walk up these, so you might want to make a path going up around the side that allows you to walk up them. It's really up to you how you do that. So as you can see here, we got something that looks like this. And then we can add like a few blocks in here, and then maybe something like that. But as you can see, look, it's already started taking place. We've already began creating our own hill, and I'm going to tell you now, just that probably took quite a while. Filling in this whole thing will take ages, but that will give you some custom terrain. So you could fill this whole circle in around, going around here, and that would give you like a hollow topped kind of hill. So you can have this curving round and meeting back at the start point. That will give you this giant kind of cliff that's just centered in the middle, allowing you to build a house or something on top of it, and it will be a custom hill. Or you could even make it into your own little bat cave, have some sort of secret entrance that takes you into this giant hollowed out hill. So you would have, it would kind of look like this on the inside. Obviously I've only done a small part, and you obviously could go around. If you've watched previous videos of me making cave bases, then you will see that you can do texturing with cobblestone and different types of materials there to really give you a nice kind of detailed area, especially if you was to turn this into a nice bat cave with a secret entrance. So it's something you could try and play around with there. Just kind of a few small tips that I want to give you. Obviously naturally generated kind of terrain, just using this looks a lot, it's a lot easier to do. It's really simple than building your own full terrain. That will take you a lot more time than this, but obviously playing around with stuff like this is a great way to kind of get started. And obviously you never want to keep saying perfect. When I'm going to say that now, so when you're building terrain or terraforming, you never want something to look perfect, because it's just unnatural, and it's unnatural for terrain or land just to look completely perfect. It's generally something that doesn't happen a lot. Usually the only time you see kind of perfectly built things is when you see maybe like structures that are made by people, or like roads and things. They're kind of, obviously there's still things in roads like potholes that aren't exactly perfect, but they look a lot more perfect than something that has just kind of been naturally generated and created. So, you know, it's one of those, just try not to be too a lot of people are kind of perfectionists and kind of don't want to change it. But you can, as you can see here, this started with a kind of a flat cliff face, and we've already got a bit of a pathway that leads up. Obviously I started from about here, so if you wanted the pathway to actually come from about here downwards, you would want to start at the top, not down here, and it will actually give you a larger cliff face. Once again, we could actually get something like this and just kind of build a terrain that goes around, kind of in like a random naturally generated kind of circle. As you can see, I'm not really fussed about the looks of placing it, because you can always fix it up later. But as you can see here, you get this flat area that comes over like this, and you could actually do exactly what I've done over here, just on a lot smaller scale, and then begin to come down or create your own frame that leads off this cliff. So this will be flat, and then you can have like a cliff that you've built naturally that would come down here. So it's really up to you. They're just a few small things you can do. So, you know, like I was just saying, you could have something like this, kind of coming down like so, and then obviously just going around and texturing and filling it in. I would probably build the frame like I did on this one first, and then fill it in. Makes life so much easier. So yeah, they're just a few small tips. If you would like to see any more videos, please but can't even speak, feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below. I want to get back into YouTube. I'm having a rough time with work and everything, but I'm definitely still going to stick around and continue doing it. Just want to say a huge thank you guys for 8,000 subscribers. It's been absolutely insane, and please don't forget to leave any comments of something you would like to do, like a series. If you would like me to do some sort of series, I would love to be doing something like that. So yeah, hopefully this little kind of small video here that kind of helped you guys figure out how to kind of create your own terrain. And yeah, enjoy. Peace.